Ya, semangat.
Oke. Jadi HP yang mana sih? Yang ini apa yang ini? Oh, I see. Hello everyone.
This is for
Okay.
Zoom and offline.
Okay. Is it on?
On.
Everything's
Yeah,
on?
it's
Oh, alright. Ada jam ini. Halo, ada positif, takutnya.
Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to one and all. Welcome to Innovation on Wheels, where we take you behind the journey of UGM Team Semar as they compete in the Shell Eco Marathon in Qatar. My name is Najla Alifa Chandra, and I'm here with my fellow hosts, Shakina Azahra and Sophia Lutfi.
Yeah, so I'm Sophia from Qatar, and we're so excited to have you guys here today. You guys have put in an incredible effort into Shell Eco Marathon, and we're here to discuss your achievements and your challenges throughout your journey.
And we are joined by two amazing guests, David Rianto, the project manager lead, and Hans Tobias, the head of Semar UGM. So welcome to Qatar. Could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is David, and I'm from Indonesia, and I'm currently studying mechanical engineering. So I'm currently on my third year on mechanical engineering, and I'm here in Semar UGM as the project management lead, or as you can say, the non-technical lead. I handle all of the non-technical stuff.
Hello, my name is Hans. I'm also from mechanical engineering, currently studying on the third year. I'm here as the general manager, as you can say. I lead not only in technical, but also in non-technical problems in Semar. Yeah.
Oke, setelah ini kita akan menyaksikan video perkenalan dari Semar UGM. So stay tuned.
To the heat, to the grind, to the tears, to the countless hours of work we've put in.
We are here to win, innovate, and become the change makers of tomorrow.
All the sacrifices we made ultimately come down to this very moment.
What have we things? We do for great around different housing. We're together for a greener future.
What?
Okay, that's good.
Oke, boleh tepuk tangannya?
Hello, Hans, David. Welcome now, Najla. Okay, let's start with the basic. Okay, Shell Eco-Marathon itu apa ya? Dan what aspect of competition provides?
Okay, I'll answer that one. So Shell Marathon is actually a competition for sustainability conducted by Shell themselves. And this year is actually they mark the 40th year of the Shell Marathon. And if I'm not mistaken, the Shell Marathon from Asia Pacific and Middle East started from 2010.
Yes.
And Semar has joined ever since the first competition, since 2010. So it has been quite a long time. And it is a competition for sustainability, as I mentioned earlier. And what they compete, I guess, yeah, what we compete for is to make a vehicle that is reliable enough and yet has amazing efficiency, or as we call it, mileage. Now, they they see it as their kind of CSR program from for Shell. And now we have three categories for the vehicle. We have ICE. ICE is internal combustion engine, and then we have hydrogen, and then we also have battery electric. And we also have two types of different vehicles or cars, as we mentioned. The first one is prototype. It is designed to be as lightweight, as aerodynamic, as efficient as possible. And then the next one is called urban, and the urban is designed to be similar like an ordinary city car. So they have the wipers, they have the baggage storage system, and it has four wheels, and it has the lights and hazard lights and braking lights and all of that, as you expect an ordinary city car, right? And our vehicle actually still holds the Asian record holder for the hydrogen urban vehicle. It is currently on 276 kilometers per meter cube of hydrogen. And right now it is still the highest one in Asia. And no one else. It is fucking amazing. And for our prototype, actually, we also have one of the highest score in Asia. We have 938 kilometers per kilowatt hour. That's our record. As you can maybe probably imagine, it's probably like from Doha to Istanbul, maybe around there to Istanbul, and only using the power of 1 watt hour. 1 watt hour is it's like an air conditioner that you can turn on for 1 hour. So that is the energy that we save, and that is the part that we designed for this whole.
Ada tambahan dari Kak Hans?
Oh, nah, that's quite complete actually.
Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about how UGM got involved to these competitions. So Kak Hans, when did UGM first join to this competition and what inspired the team?
Okay, so Semar UGM itself was born in 2009 by Mr. Jayan Singarahari, our current
What is it called?
Faculty advisor.
faculty advisor.
Okay.
And from the beginning, it was actually designed to actually promote Shell Marathon in Indonesia. So when Shell comes to Indonesia and they want Indonesian teams to compete in Shell Marathon, they invited several universities, and including UI, Universitas Zamanda, ITS. We all started in 2009 and competed in the 2010 Shell Marathon for the first time. So Semar only had one vehicle, it's prototype diesel. So it's an IC category. In 2010, actually, we managed to go to Malaysia, and then we didn't finish. It was actually our first time. Then, since 2009, we regularly entered the competition until our 15 years. No, it's 15 years. Until our 15 years this year. And I think what has built UGM to compete in Shell Marathon is the vision to achieve a greener future itself. That's why we shift from ICE into hydrogen category, because we know that the research behind hydrogen itself is most important. So it's not only about winning for us, it's about making the innovations. That's why most of Semar's work is done not only in our vehicle, but also in research and laboratory based projects. We have made gas powered car, we have made with electric powered vehicle buggy. And we also make a lot of gas converter kits for industrial level companies. So the innovations from Semar comes not only from our vehicle, but also from our projects outside the Sharjah Marathon.
Okay. So now let's get into the technical side because sebenarnya that's what I'm more interested in because inshallah aku juga masuk engineering. Yeah. Jadi, what was the process like actually building the car from research to building it to shipping it here?
Thanks a lot.
So you want to enter engineering? It's a hard one. Even both of us are still struggling with our school now. And so the process of making the car starts with the design, of course. We have to try to make a car that obey the regulations from Sharjah Marathon, so they have certain width and dimension for the body, and then the maximum weight of the car, and we try to match that regulations before we do testings from our simulations. So we have a lot of software for simulations. We test the track, we test. It's not very common. So the drag is how can your car resist the wind going straight from one direction, and you also test, not test, we predict how heavy the car will be, and then we predict how it performs on the track, also from simulations. Then, when we think that it's okay and good enough to compete, we manufacture the car using our car body is actually from carbon fibers, 100% carbon fibers. So we manufacture it on our workshop. Then, after that, we do the real testing by doing test drives. After test drives, we managed to find we managed to find enough partners to help us to ship the car here and to compete in Sharjah Marathon 2025.
Okay, how long did it take from research to competition?
Well, the first research, I'll just talk about the hydrogen cars first. The first research for hydrogen cars started back in 2009. 2009. It only competed in Sharjah Marathon in 2023. So it took us about 3 to 4 years to research the propulsion system of the car before we can manufacture the car itself. Then I think it's about 1 year of testing prior to our competition. On the first time our hydrogen car enters Sharjah Marathon, we actually managed to win and still hold the records for Asia. I mean, that's impressive, isn't it? It's not, what's it called? It's not easy because our senior, he had a lot of troubles dealing with the hydrogen propulsion systems, and also we broke a couple of devices prior to our competition, so it cost us a lot of time, a lot of money, of course, but the most important one is a lot of effort. It takes not only your time and money and effort, it takes your passion to be able to finish and complete that research at the very beginning. Yeah, I think that's the process.
Okay, so next, funding is a major factor in any project plan. Yeah. So how do you guys get the funds to develop this project and also for the competition?
Right. Okay. So I'm probably the one who will answer something else. Okay. So when we talk about funding and how we can gather a lot of, let's say, money basically for this competition. And by the way, this competition takes a lot, right? It takes way much more than when it was held in Mandalika last year. So to give you guys an approximation, maybe it took us almost 600 million rupiah in Qatar, around that, yeah, 600 million rupiah. That is excluding the development of the car itself. So it is a lot, right? But we never really got worried about money because what we know is that Semar UGM has its own, basically it has its own kind of like soul and character, right? What's important is how can we manage our branding in terms of in media branding and the branding of the team itself, and that what's makes maybe Semar UGM is really good at getting partners and sponsors. So actually, the money that comes from sponsors is not that much. It's not that much. It's only a sixth of the
Total cost.
the total cost that we use here. So it's only around 100 million. Yeah, I'm just go back to the and yeah, the important thing is branding, and it is why sometimes people miss the importance of branding. Starting from the sponsorship proposals, your social media, how you can make your own social media to be as interesting as possible, as selling as possible, and how you can get audience to engage. And that is one parameter, I guess, the parameter for the good branding. You do not need a you do not need a very complicated type of media or proposals or anything. You just need to be communicative, to be simple, to be direct, right? And so that is the knowledge, I guess, and the important key aspect that I always highlight to my juniors. As you know, we are on our final year in Semar UGM, and so that is what I highlight. The most important thing is to be as direct and as communicative as possible. And actually, we also get support a lot by the campus itself, also by our alumni. So yeah, they help us a lot. And initially, we have no clue at all in how it is in Doha, how we can get our transportation and everything all sorted out. And now with the help of Kagama, with the help of campus itself, and also our friends from other teams and other campuses, we can be here today.
I think from the head of non-technical side, he focuses more on the brandings.
Yeah.
When from my side, it focuses on knowing the map of companies to see which one is the perfect partners for Semar, and also just to find supports from other, what is it called, partners. That's not companies. So like Qatar itself and our campuses, it's actually more tricky, I guess, because in Indonesia, it's quite political. So you really need to be able to manage a strategy to be able to get what you want, especially for Semar. And one of the challenges is that not many people really know shelter marathon, even if Indonesian teams are actually very serious about this. And that makes it quite hard for companies because most of the time when we give our proposals, they don't even know what kind of event it is. So the trick is on how we manage to deliver the message behind shelter marathon before they can support us. I think that's the challenging part for us as the general manager.
Okay, before we move on to my next question, I want to ask another mini question. Because you guys talked a lot about hydrogen fuel, that's kind of your main one. Do you think it could ever make its way into commercial use? Because it is it's very combustible, it's a very dangerous, volatile kind of fuel. But do you think it could ever, because it was very efficient for you guys, energy efficient, do you think it could ever make its way into commercial use?
Yeah, I think it's my part because previously, before I become the general manager, I was a fuel cell engineer, so I deal with hydrogens and fuel cells. The thing is, we already have one, Toyota Mirai. And is it okay if I say brands? So we have the Toyota, right? But it doesn't enter Indonesia because of the regulations that we never done. It's not established yet, and we think it's one of, like you say, one of the factors that's most important is safety. However, after around 2.5 years in Semar, I understand that hydrogen fuel is very possible to be commercial because, well, one of the weakness of electric cars is that you need to charge for 12 minutes or a long time. Yeah. When you can refill a hydrogen for only 2 minutes and go on with your product. a long time. And it's not that complicated. It's a simple system, yet very efficient. So maybe if the government can make enough efforts and regulations for hydrogen vehicle to enter Indonesia, it will become easier for transportations to use gas. And also even we have, what is it called? Yeah, we have liquefied natural gas in Indonesia that is used on our cars. We also have a fatty acid. So if you're interested in researching the hydrogen power itself, it's also being used not only in the vehicle but also in electricity generator in Indonesia. So it's very possible. We're just currently waiting for the regulations to, yeah, it happens in Indonesia.
But yeah, it is possible for hydrogen to be, I guess, feasible for the future. But I do not think on this short amount of time because right now the market is on battery electric, right? And if we see the efficiency between two of them, it is quite similar. It is quite similar. But one thing that hydrogen is good for is, as Hans has mentioned, the fueling system is way faster than battery electric vehicle. And the second thing is it is lighter. It is considerably lighter for more amount of energy stored, right? So I guess the hydrogen vehicle will start from bigger vehicles first, then commercial vehicles. I think that is what I predict. And based on the research that I have read, several research on the internet, I think that hydrogen is way more feasible for heavier vehicles.
And that's it actually. Um, Tesla is recently shifting from battery electric into hydrogen cars. That's because I think they have the vision that hydrogen cars are the actual car for the future.
Possible.
Yeah, not a lot of people want to wait 20 minutes to 1 hour just to refuel the car. So it is very possible. It's safe.
It is.
It is safe, and I would say it's better than the. That's all I would say because I handle hydrogen, so I think it's better than the.
Okay, so out of the three fuels, like the ICE, internal combustion engine, the battery, and the hydrogen, you would say hydrogen is the most promising for the future?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people might have different opinions, so we divide our opinions there. But from my side, I believe hydrogen is the actual car for the future.
Okay. So for our next question, you shouted out Kagama, Levy, yeah. So what role do you think UGM alumni has played in your journey in Shell Economics?
Banyak banget.
All of it.
Semua.
We're actually very thankful because without Kagama Kata, we're probably sitting next to a bus stop right now, trying to find our way to the airport or something. And we also feel the warm welcome from Kagama Kata. It makes us, I'm getting nervous. It makes us very thankful to have, well, a parents here that brother, yeah. Brother here. We have a brother here that helps us with every step of our journey. Even, yeah, a big bro. Even just making sure that we already have our dinner, we enjoy our journey here, that we pass the technical inspection or anything else on the competition. It makes us feel loved, I'll say. Also, it's Valentine's, so happy International Love Day. Everyone watching. Yeah.
So, as mentioned before, and we're very grateful, we're very thankful, and they provide us with so much. That's yeah.
It's way more even.
Yeah.
It's way more than a sponsor. It's
And-
way more than a partners.
And the most important thing is they always support us, even before the competition. They always support us, encourage us, and making sure that we're healthy, eating our dinner and everything. And yeah, I can't express my feelings enough.
Yeah.
So
They make us feel like we're cool.
yeah,
That's
Can
my
somebody pass the tissue?
brother.
my brother.
Okay, let's jump to the chill questions. Being a part of kind of huge project takes a lot of time, right? How do you guys combine balance the life, a social life, and academics? You guys have to prepare for your classes, right? Right. And how you balance?
So that is not every member of Semar actually managed to do that. Looking at our scores and our EP as we mentioned in Indonesia. But yeah, it is very important to balance your academic life and your social life basically, or life in organization, as you can expand your connections way much more in your campus by joining a lot of organizations, a lot of communities and such and activities. You can expand your connections by a lot, and you will never know where the friends that you're making with, and they might become a successful businessman, businesswoman, I don't know, maybe the president, we never know. But yeah, that is what is important. And also, yeah, it is hard to balance between academics and social life. In Semar, we work from 6 p.m. up until 11 p.m. at night.
Every single day.
Every single day. So we go back home at like 11:30 maybe. Sometimes we like to hang out first. So we go back at like 12 a.m. And yeah, it is quite tricky to actually find your own pace of studying and doing your assignments, projects, and etc. And also doing some art. Now, what I like to do, and in Indonesia, we do not have quite a lot of assignments per se. Actually, it's not like yeah, it's not a lot actually compared to some of my friends that I've talked to in other faculties and other majors. In our in engineering, it's not that long. But sometimes I sacrifice not my sleeping schedule because sleeping is important. I sacrifice my kind of me time, my weekend sometimes. Yeah. So my weekend is and my me time is doing the project myself. And with that, you can manage between smart and academics. And also, please do not study one day before the test. That's a bad idea. Yeah, I think that's my best advice here. So study like 3 weeks before the exam. 3 weeks, 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And because we're in engineering, the test will be hard, right? It will be hard, and it's all yeah, theoretical and essays and everything, and you cannot study one night before. So that's a bad idea. So start studying weeks before, and during class, do not sleep or do not play with your phone or do anything else. Just pay attention to the lecturer, to the professor, because even though you don't understand what they're saying, yeah, sometimes you don't understand, but at least you know what topics they're discussing. And so when you're studying, maybe 2 weeks later, 1 week later, you will sort of understand and have the gist of it. So pay attention to the class. Okay?
I think it's very different from David and me
Yeah.
because David says that easily because he's the most talented in Semar. Yeah. So because I entered Semar from technical sides, it actually takes longer than 11 p.m. A lot of times, actually, I go home at 4, actually, in the morning because, because we're preparing for competitions. I've been a fuel cell engineer. I've been a what's it called? Powertrain engineer, and both of the work there is actually much was it time consuming than non-technical side. So I actually sacrifice my sleeping time. So because I always have a class at 6 in the morning, so a lot of times I just don't get any sleep and just go straight to the campus. That's why you have like what's it called? Stereotype that engineering students in Indonesia do not sleep and have like under eyes. It's true. It's true on me at least from the first few years in Semar. And although it is now balanced, I find it hard at the very beginning. I struggle at the beginning to find a balance. I actually sacrifice my academic as well, just so that I can make sure that someone is winning. But then I find out that the key to have a balanced life in university while also joining an organization is to pay attention in class. So as long as you pay attention in class, usually you can always know the answer to what you're studying. Even for someone like me who only studied like 2 days before the exam, something like that, I can still balance it right now. So yeah, I think the most important thing is that you pay attention in class and do not take anything for granted. Yeah.
Okay, so going back to the project's question, managing people could be more challenging than managing an object. So how do you guys navigate leadership and team dynamics?
So yeah, that is actually very true. As we are, Hans is as team manager and I'm as the non-technical lead, I need to manage all of the people. We have currently 20 members of Semar UGM. It is actually quite small compared to a lot of other teams in UGM. And yeah, it is hard because they each own have their own different personality characteristics and work ethics. That is the most important. So we cannot, or it is hard actually, not that we can. It is hard to pressure them to work and to work as to achieve their targets each week or each month, and it is quite tricky on doing that. And so we kind of do a lot of this kind of competition things, and we take it as easy as possible to them. We don't pressure them too much for work, as long as they know their own targets, as long as they is serious about the competition. I think it will be fine. And yeah, uh, managing them, and what's important is to know their personality, right? And if you know them well enough, you know their personality, you know their characteristic. You can be more comfortable in talking to them. You can be more comfortable in encouraging them to work more serious or faster. Maybe sometimes we need to work faster, and yeah, I think that's important to us.
I think another important message is to respect them and to trust them on what they're doing. Because the regionalization selections in Semar is actually quite complicated and hard. We know that anyone who enters Semar is the best of the best. So when we try to pressure them, not all of them will work greatly, right? So we cannot do a personal approach to them so that they know what to do, they know what to deal with. Then we do an evaluations. Most of the time, it's just to keep track on the project's goals. Then after that, we just come back into the workshop and work together again. And I mean, it's someone, me and David being the manager and the leaders, it's just a status. We don't actually, what's it called? We don't actually make any difference from the rest of the team. In Semar, we are, what is it called? We are the leader and the worker, I say. But outside of Semar, we're all friends. We're a family. Uh, it's actually very warm to work in Semar. That's why we prefer to call it a family rather than only a team. Yeah, I think that's how. When you can make sure that people can be professional at the workshop and yet be friend outside of it, anything will be fine. I think.
Alright, so competition took the research and development took you like long and time consuming, right? So what do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned from this experience?
Is it from the shelter in
Yeah,
2025?
from your experience, personal experience.
Oh, wholesome argument. Because I entered Semar only because my senior challenged me. So I didn't have any intention to join Semar at the very beginning because I was very academic in the very beginning. So someone called Mr. Reynolds just came to me and he said like, that challenge called, and he gave me a challenge if I can qualify for the position of the field so engineers at the time. He'll give me, what was it? I think Sure, waktu itu dia kasih apa ya? I'm not sure. Kayaknya nggak pernah dikasih deh kalau yang itu. But yeah, because I entered because of a challenge, it makes me focused. And I think when my when my career in Semar only happened in technical side, the most important thing I learned is that university, the class is not the best place to learn engineering. I get much more knowledge of engineering in Semar rather than in my class. Maybe in class you will learn about thermodynamics, you will learn about fluid mechanics, but in Semar it's the applications. So you need to be able to manage to see them in real time, and it's very hard to do. Much harder than only solving problems in a book, and it makes me very stressful at times. Yeah, but then when a lot of my fellow have not yet been exposed to that experience, I just feel that I get the benefits of being exposed to that experience first. So when I end up maybe working place later, I can be much confident what my skills from technical side. And from the non-technical side, I learned that you have to have trust on your partners. Like me and Adele at the very beginning, we had a big challenge of coming to Qatar after just competing in Indonesia for 3 years. I know at that very first moment that I need to trust David, and David also need to trust me so that we can work together. And thankfully, we're here right now. So I think that plan worked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like the same for me. And actually, the first time I do not want to join engineering, right? And my knowledge in engineering, and my knowledge in mechanical engineering, especially in mechanical engineering, is not that. It's not a lot, you know. And I got very culture shock a lot in when I was in my first year in Jogja. So yeah, at first I didn't want to join. I didn't want to continue my mechanical engineering, and then when organization came and Team Semar introduced themselves, and I got interested to this futuristic as vehicle, and yeah, I looked to it, and then I learned that me as a non-technical member of the team, I also learned the technical side of the car itself, and I learned a lot from my friends and fans also, and from my seniors in Semar that engineering is so much more. And yeah, it is true. You cannot learn that much in class for engineering, okay? Because it is an applicable knowledge, right? Applicative knowledge, right? So you cannot just learn theories. Okay? You cannot just take task projects, and you have to do it, right? So yeah, one of the ways that you can do it is to Semar. And the most important, I guess, one of the most important life lessons in Semar I learned from my senior is the saying of "Mbuh piye caranya." Mbuh piye caranya means gimana lah caranya apa?
No matter what it takes.
Yeah, no matter what it takes. Terserah lah mau caranya apa. Whether apa?
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever it takes. So yeah, that is a very hard life lesson that I get in Semar, and that makes me who I am today, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very emotional. Yeah.
Okay. Also, me and my friend, when we were at the competition the other day, obviously, like, Indonesian teams dominated throughout the competition. There was, like, all Indonesian final happened. And then Qatar man, someone from Qatar University, he came up to me, my friend, and he knew we were Indonesian, and he asked us, like, what's the Indonesian team's secret? Why is it you guys can dominate throughout the competition? So what do you guys think it is? Is it that we have more funding, or we have what do you think the secret of Indonesian teams are?
they have better technologies, they have more supportive campus as well. But what makes it special, I guess, is because we take pride in what we do. We want to achieve more than only the national level. Most of the Indonesian teams are actually very serious in conducting research for a vehicle. Say UGM, UI, ITS, and many others are actually developing a higher level of car than the Shell Command car. Even in Semar, we are also developing an electricity generator. So I think the passion and the pride for research itself fuels us the most and makes us special. Although with all the limited resources, such as funding, that's most important in research, and also technology. Also, I think it's because we come from a big country. I mean, Indonesia is a really big country. It has its pride. So when we join a competition, we're there not to follow a competition. We're there to do. We set our achievement the highest. So I think most Indonesian teams become very dominant because of that pride. And the good thing is that the pride is not only in one of the generations. It's actually get passed into the next generation and on and on and on. So the spirit never ends. Yeah. I think that's the most important one.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, when the first Sharik Marathon was conducted in 2010, the Indonesian government actually held another competition. It's a national competition called Kontes Mobil Hemat Energi. I don't think it's called Kontes Mobil Hemat Energi.
The Indonesian energy.
Yeah, Indonesian Energy Challenge, Eco Challenge or something. Or as you know today, it's Kontes Mobil Hemat Energi. And that is a national competition. It is basically Sharik Marathon, but national, right? And because of that competition, a lot of Indonesian teams joined that competition. And that competition becomes the benchmark, I guess, becomes the starting point for the Sharik Marathon. So a lot of teams in Indonesia actually they join two competitions per year, the national one, like Semar, we join the national competition and the international competition, such as Sharik Marathon. And because of this national competition, there are a lot of Indonesian teams that are trying to achieve what we are doing right now, with the Sharik Marathon vehicle, with the super efficient vehicle for the national competition. And because of that, they can develop it more and go to the Sharik Marathon.
So it's like a preliminary competitions before you enter Sharik Marathon. Yeah.
So what do you guys think is like the implication of like the Indonesian dominance for the future of Indonesian engineering? Because obviously there's so much potential, but like on a national level, like we're not competing with like, for example, China or Korea in terms of like engineering. So how do you think this potential in like the mahasiswa engineering in Indonesia, which we see during Shaliko Marathon, how can that be applied to the future of Indonesia?
Well, that's a hard topic actually. But from what I see and from my experience, Indonesian engineering, not only engineering, but Indonesian students are actually very competent. But most of the times we don't get the opportunity to show it, to let the world know what we're doing. So I think most of our students' orientation is just money sometimes. That's why when it doesn't benefit them as much, they rather not do it. And I mean, that's fine for some people, but for someone who wants to be known, who wants to be remembered as someone in Indonesia, you need to first have your passion in what you do. Not only in engineering, it also applies in many other faculty and many other majors. For Indonesia's future itself, I think as long as the government can help us and provide enough, I would say solutions, because it's not only funding and everything, as the solutions, we will become brighter than any other countries. Yeah. Hopefully, of course, I'm not sure yet, but from what I see from my experience, that is very feasible for us to become the number one in the world. Yeah. So even the standard, I think, because most Indonesian universities right now are actually having international standard and international level courses. So it's not, I'll say it's not at the best condition now, but it's on our way right now. I think that's it.
Okay. So what is the future for Semar UGM? What does the roadmap look like from now? Because obviously you guys are graduating or like you're leaving the team. So what does the future look like for the rest of the team?
So after this, actually, we will have our open first. We will take in new members for this marketing team, new recruiters basically, and our plan is to join the national competition. It was planned to be held in June or July, I think, in June or July. So we will prepare our vehicle for that. And sadly, the national competition doesn't have hydrogen, so we need to change the propulsion system for our vehicle into the battery electric.
And also post the Asian record.
Oh yeah, this is an interesting fact. So the battery electric vehicle that we have for urban is the highest one in Asia and America, number two in the world. So yeah, the more interesting fact is that the number one in the world is 309 kilometers per kilowatt hours from Hungary. It's a team called SZ Energy. It's from Hungary, and they set the world record in 2023. And when we compete for our national competition in battery electric, we got a score of 299 kilometers per kilowatt hour. So it's actually ranked number two, but it is not on the international competition level. So it is not ranked by them. Yeah. But yeah, we got that score. And yeah, our plan for the future is to join the national competition first, and then we will plan our way back here in Lucille to compete again in Channel Marathon. I think it will be held also in February. So that will be our future.
For me, it's about rebuilding this month. If we talk about this year's competition, it only gave Shell only gave us like 6 months of research time, while we also have to join the national level competition. So we lost another 3 months on it. So we only had like 3 months for the full research of the car, on which this year we actually changed a lot, especially from the urban, because we changed the propulsion system. We also changed our car body in our prototype cars. So we did a lot of research at a very short time. And now what we will do is to reevaluate what we did and also try to improve what we have right now and make sure that the new generation that's coming in can also replace us that are going to graduate from Semar. We also want to make sure that Semar will be fine without us. So we believe that Semar will be fine, but from my side especially, I want Semar to be back on top again very soon. So the mission is to make sure that we leave Semar in a good condition as well. Yeah. I think that's for me because it gets very personal when it comes to becoming general manager of the team. So it's like carrying the burden of a whole team. And it's very hard to do, yet I want the next generation to be able to handle it better than we did.
Okay, and last but not least, do you guys have any advices for students who wants to get involved to campus organizations or competition like this?
So my advice is to do not forget your sleeping schedule. That's number one, I think. And also, yeah, as what I've mentioned before, to balance your academic and social life and be so my roadmap for my university life is during my first and second year, I try to explore as much as possible events, activities, communities, whatever you mention it. Try to get involved in everything. But still, you need to think about your schedule and your own academic life, of course. But try to join as much as you can and try to connect with as many people as you can, right? Because that will be worth. Now for engineering type of communities like us, like Semar, it is maybe quite tricky and maybe it is harder per se, because you also need to learn.
The technical side.
Yeah, you need to learn the technical sides. You need to learn before your friends learn it in class, because we don't get this knowledge before. When we join Semar, we don't get the knowledge of designing a vehicle, running a simulation for the vehicle. We don't get that. We study that by ourselves. So get get that motivation of just studying and exploring by yourself.
Be curious.
Be curious, kid. Be curious. And it is university life. You can do and essentially whatever you want.
Yeah, as
Right?
much as you want.
It's your own freedom, I think. Yeah, what's important is to just explore, to be curious, and to study as much as you can. Because you will never know when you need the knowledge. If you are interested in engineering, okay, start reading research paper maybe, or maybe just download an engineering software, AutoCAD, SolidWorks, ANSYS, Abacus, anything you mentioned it. And just try to learn simulations. There are YouTubes and Google's here to help you to guide you through the basic stuff of the software. And enough. Presently, that is enough. As long as you are willing to learn.
Well, my advice is don't cheat your way into anything, because it is very important to become honest in university as well. Because in university, you don't only want to finish with a score; you want to finish with a knowledge. Because especially coming from UGM, which is one of the known university in Indonesia, people put higher pressure on you. They have higher hopes in you as well. So try and make sure to be mindful when doing whatever it is that you want to do, even exploring communities, exploring any other things in university. So just make sure that you do it properly, do it correctly, and don't cheat around it. And also, I think one of the best advice that I can give is to be brave. If I were shy at the beginning, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't take the challenge, even though it was like a crazy challenge for me, because I know I went from zero there. I literally know nothing about philosophy, I know nothing about handling hydrogen. Yet now I'm working in Semar, handling hydrogens and also becoming a general manager. So be brave and be shoot, and be honest. Yeah. I think that's the most important ones for me. And
Okay, thank you for the advice. So I can conclude that we have to be brave, we have to be honest, we have to be focused on the class, we have to love to what we are doing right now. So thank you for the knowledge and for the advices. Sekarang gantian, ada yang mau ditanya around Qatar, around studies here.
And kayaknya lagi kita tunggu-tunggu sebenarnya. That's what I was waiting for. Well, I'm actually very interested in what does PPE do here, and how do you gather the community and the audiences, as well as anak-anak. How do you gather the community, and what do you guys do here, and how does it impact the Indonesian youth in Qatar itself?
So for me personally, I joined PPE last year. It was because I was forced by my parents and my sister as well. So I joined their team as a social media management and also as a videographer. And then the next year, which is 2024 to 2025, I was appointed. I was actually the todong. So I was ditodong sama kakak-kakak PPI to be the head of the PPI for this year. Jadi for PPI itself, kita itu perhimpunan pelajar Indonesia yang di Qatar. Jadi mahasiswa-mahasiswi yang di orang Indonesia di Qatar ini, we gather together and made a community. So if there's any acara or any events here, we would contact each other, and or sometimes PPI would make their own events and programs so that we have gatherings with other Indonesians, so we get connected and feels home here.
So obviously PPI is gonna be like the kuliah anak mahasiswa side. And for anak Qatar, it's for the younger students. So me personally, I'm in high school, and most of our members are in high school or even middle school. Jadi kalau kita itu lebih, gimana? Because the kids in high school here, they've grown up their whole lives in Qatar. Like none of them can speak Indonesian. Like it's very much, they're like very distant from their culture. Kan? Jadi the aim of anak Qatar is to like introduce Indonesian culture to the youth of Qatar, because honestly, like kadang-kadang aku shocked because I didn't know my whole life in Qatar. Like I moved from India to here, and like they're very much they don't know a lot of what goes on in Indo. So yeah, our thing is like, oh, we have like hip hop culture, so we introduce like Indonesian pop culture to the kids in Qatar and stuff like that. And similar to PPI, we also hold our own events. Like tomorrow on Saturday, we have the AP badminton tournament. Again, that's like Indonesia's like national sport. Really trying to connect the Indonesian youth here to things that are, local to Indonesia, and bringing a little piece of home here and making them feel like they're in a community. Gitu ya.
Jadi di PPI juga we provide people with registration for universities and also kayak beasiswa yang ada di Qatar, scholarship. So we get DMs a lot from people, mostly from Indonesia sih. Jadi nggak banyak dari Qatar, orang Indonesia di Qatar, tapi banyaknya dari orang Indonesia yang di Indonesia, yang interested to study in Qatar itself. So most of the DMs we receive itu kayak, kapan registrasi untuk QU? Kebanyakannya itu dari Qatar University and also HBKU, Hamad bin Khalifa University. Yeah, mostly they ask us for like beasiswa scholarship and stuff, and the procedures to apply in Qatar.
Aku mau nanya. So coming from mechanical engineering, actually, Middle Eastern countries itu salah satu tujuan dari banyak mahasiswa dan interest dari anak-anak di Indonesia. Mungkin karena ketertarikan oil and gas, and a lot of very engineering based companies here, and so I'm very curious about the interest for the Indonesian people here and the tendency itu ke kalau misalnya apa ke uni atau misalnya udah tumbuh gede di sini terus kuliah di sini misalnya, itu mereka apakah jurusannya interestednya in engineering juga kah atau ada yang lain kah atau gimana?
Okay, so kalau buat saya, kan saya mahasiswi di University of Doha. Jadi di situ banyak sih orang Indonesia yang interested in the engineering field. So we have the faculty for engineering, and there's a lot of my friends who comes for the engineering studies. And also we too also have like QU. So most of our PPI management team itu mereka banyaknya yang dari faculty of engineering. Yeah, both from QU and as well as UDSC.
Yeah, I think obviously I'm still in high school, tapi we're at that stage where like we're applying for universities, and I think kebanyakan kalau orang Indo kalau nggak like engineering is like computer science and stuff like that, very Asian of us. And I think kalau di sini tadinya there was Texas A&M University, and that was like the main like campus for engineering, but now that that's closed, like banyak juga yang di HBKU atau Qatar University, and yeah, I think that's mainly like the tujuan. Kalau nggak banyak juga yang dari sini malahan apply in Indonesia. Whereas like yeah, there's so many yang misalnya like ke ITB atau UGM juga banyak. Tapi I think engineering is like a lot of Indonesians. Aku juga kan pengen masuk engineering, so yeah, a lot of inshallah electrical engineering. Jadi I think that is like salah satu kayak yang it also like very like bergengsi ya. Kayak maksudnya like it's very I think so like that's what I think.
Oh, okay. So
The question is it because of the prestige or is it because of the passion? Most of the people.
Kinda it's split lah ya. I think a lot of it is like, misalnya kalau di sini kebanyakan orang tuanya they work in oil and gas, So like most of the parents here were engineers studying, and then I think some of my friends, I think they do feel the pressure of like getting in just for the prestige. Tapi ada juga yang lebih ke passion. Atau not like a mix of both, you know, like obviously you want to make your family proud and like get into engineering and stuff. But there's also, there has to be some sort of passion for that. Like as you guys said, you have to be curious in university, and like if you don't like it, it really shows in your grades and like in your success. Jadi kayaknya it's a combination of the two, tapi pasti ada yang lebih ke prestige, mereka motivasinya. I think because like you said, you didn't want to go into engineering initially, right? So what was it that pushed you? It's probably like
Money.
the job security, like knowing that if you work here, like in oil and gas, like there is a lot of job security. There's a lot of and like you know, it's not wrong to think that way, right? Like everyone has their own different motivations, and like passion is a good driver, but sometimes like you gotta think about the money.
Well, also hearing from Mas Lukman
Yes.
and hearing from one of our alumni here, it's very interesting to work here, especially in oil and gas, right? But again, what I find very hard is that even though for someone like me that has the passion, because my dad is also a mechanical engineer, he also worked in oil and gas, I still find it struggle at the very beginning. I still find it very stressful at the very beginning. It's hard because, well, obviously you have the motivation to it, yet you're not very punya strategi. You don't really have a strategy yet because you don't know what's actually inside and how hard it is. It is, especially in Indonesia, we still have oriented period, you know, which might make it harder for some students. So, yang aku pengen tanya itu sebenarnya jadinya tuh kalau culture university di sini tuh gimana? Kalau dibandingkan sama yang di Indonesia. Tapi in general aja maksudnya, nggak harus di engineering dong.
I'm not sure. I do think like engineering is the most yeah, the people actually are interested more in engineering because like I have a lot of friends who took engineering, like especially from my university, which is USD, University of Doha, and most of them took engineering.
I think like the culture of Red Indo, yeah, there's like aspect and stuff like that stuff is like kind of scary and I think illegal here, so I don't think they have that going on. I think the culture, you know, kayak banyak. Yeah, like there's a lot of events and stuff. Aku kurang tahu kalau di university here, I think it's a bit more mellow. I'd say. I don't know, because I'm not university here, but you guys.
So I was graduated from University State of Jakarta di Jakarta Timur. Kalau aku bisa bandingin, culture belajar di sini itu yang penting ngomong dulu. Karena aku take course bahasa Arab untuk 1 tahun aja sih, jadi bukan yang non degree gitu ya. Jadi kalau aku bandingin di universitas di Indonesia, biasanya kalau dosennya ngomong, selesai ngomong dulu baru angkat tangan terus jawab atau nanggepin sesuatu. Kalau di QU enggak. Mungkin ini tidak bisa digeneralisasi, tapi di program tuh gitu. Jadi kalau misalkan punya ide apa yang mau disampaikan, itu langsung ngomong, tanpa harus angkat tangan, biasanya gitu. Jadi yang penting kita discuss, yang penting kita kayak brainstorming untuk mengkritisi pendapat satu sama lain, gitu sih. Dan aku awalnya culture shock untuk motong pembicaraan itu kan bukan Indonesia banget ya, bukan culture Indonesia. Tapi bisa ambil manfaat dari mereka-mereka yang berani untuk ngomong dan berani untuk beda di kelas, dan itu kita saling menghargai pendapat satu sama lain, jadi nggak ada debat yang kosong lagi di situ.
Okay.
Ada lagi?
Okay, so yes, Indonesian universities are also becoming kayak yang di sini, because a lot of our lecturers actually say, especially in UGM, one of the biggest problems is that we're shy. So most of the time we don't really express what we have in our mind just so we can respect other people. Benar maksudnya? Benar kan? Ya? Nah. So that's one of the biggest problems we have, especially in Universitas Gadjah Mada. And they say it's because of the culture, or anything else, of course. But I think one of the biggest difference, maybe from a lot of my experience of friends as well, is that we focus on much more things, not only from the academics in Indonesia. So we focus on our wellness as well. We also focus on the networking side. Yeah, we focus more on the networking side. That's why a lot of our lectures are not only held in engineering faculty. There are some that is held in another faculty, just so that we can have more connections and have, well, I'll say, more friends. Because especially in UGM, you don't know who you're talking to. Maybe right now I'm talking to David, but maybe in the future I'm talking to a president. Okay. So because of that, kita jadi lebih pengen kenalan sama orang lain. We want to know each other much more, and kita jadi lebih pengen maintain hubungan. Soalnya gitu sih. I feel like it's less individual di Indonesia dibandingkan di luar negeri. Itu aja sih sebenarnya. Cukup beda. Gimana? Tanya lagi dong.
Mungkin kata in general.
Oke.
Ya.
In Qatar in general ya. Sebenarnya kalau dari aku tuh ngelihatnya itu tadi ya. Aku tuh sampai detik ini mungkin karena dengan kayak datang ke competition ini and so on, and now I've explored Qatar as well, the tourism place and also visit itself. Kok jadi kepengen tinggal di sini? Iya kan?
Banyak yang bilang termasuk saya. Ya.
Dan tambah lagi kan kalau misalnya kalau melihat roadmap dari hidupku sendiri, personally, aku kan juga sebenarnya interested dengan oil and gas, gitu kan. Jadi emang dari dulu itu pengennya kerja di daerah-daerah sini, gitu kan, daerah sini UAE, terus ya yang dari bisa lah, gitu kan. Nah terus, tapi mungkin hal yang paling susahnya dapat juga gue dulu sih, karena kan ya as engineers mungkin udah tahu, sebelum berlaku, tapi kan kayak kamu juga mempertaruhkan hidupmu lah. Tapi maksudnya kayak, engineering itu bukanlah tempat yang 100% sih. I mean, nggak semua pekerjaan itu pasti ada resikonya. Tapi resiko engineering itu tetap ada dan kita semua udah tahu. It's there. Mungkin kalau kerja di luar negeri ya sama kamu ke offshore segala macam gitu kan, itu kan juga resiko tinggi. Dan itu ya mungkin aku akan susah dapetin lah, dan aku kayak harus pertimbangkan lagi karena aku segala macam. Tapi ini ngelantur nih kan. Kamu mau nanyain soal kayak kehidupan di Qatar ini, karena kalau aku dengar-dengar kan di sini tuh kayak government-nya kayak ini ya, maksudnya kita tuh bebas segala macam, insurance gitu. Nah itu gimana tuh, kita kayak as your
Personal itu di sini nggak ada taxi. And here the government is really strict. Jadi kayak misalnya untuk when you drive a car, there's a lot of penalties. Jadi kayak if you cross a red line, it would fine you to around 6,000, I think. 6,000 reals. Yeah. Yeah. Kalau
6,000 real.
ya 6,000 reals.
Wow.
Yeah. Terus juga kalau main HP itu pasti di fine, and also like seat belts and stuff. So they are really strict. And also maybe throwing trash in roads in public. So fine-nya, what I heard, it was like 10,000, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, 10,000 reals. So people here are really probably giving up because of the fine they give. It's actually a good thing. With that, we are able to like have a good country to run there.
Kaja, when did you move to this?
I was born here.
So I moved here like 2019, so maybe like 6 years ago. And tadi di Indo kan, and it's definitely a big culture shock moving here. Kan ini tuh kayak ramai banget kan.
Yeah.
Like penduduk kayak banyak, and film Jakarta like it's so full, there's so much to do. And kalau di sini lebih kalem ya kayaknya. And like again, the government is more strict. Jadi kalau if the aspect of life that you like is lebih kayak asik, misalnya kan mahasiswa ya, misalnya like you hang out a lot gitu, misalnya setiap hari kayak jalan kemana gitu. Kalau di sini tuh nggak kayak gitu the culture. Like I think after school kalau di Indo dulu like kita pasti jalan kemana dulu kan, misalnya nongkrong dulu gitu ke warung misalnya, atau nggak kemana lah ke mall. Kalau di sini like pulang sekolah ya pulang aja gitu. Misalnya jam like literally at 1:10 like the whole school is gone. Like everyone's gone home. And that kind of shocked me for a little bit. I was like, where is everyone? Because like in Indo you kind of hang out a bit first. You can't think misalnya kan. Terus kalau di sini tuh lebih orang tuh senang di rumah. Misalnya I think maybe it's the weather as well. You kind of just go home and then maybe like, after Maghrib you go out again. Like it's a bit more calm, a bit more chill. And I think if that's the way of life that you like, then you'll find it really good here. Tapi kalau misalnya lebih suka yang like asik, there's a lot going on, like you might find it a little bit like too calm here. And I think it does take getting used to and like finding your groove. I think moving anywhere pasti ada culture shock ya. Tapi yeah, I think kalau misalnya kakak lebih suka yang lebih kalem gitu ya, there's like job security, like you're just gonna go to the beach and like hang out with your friends. Like, if that's the vibe that you're into, like moving here is really nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I find because I think it's too calm for me.
Yeah.
For sure. Untuk orang yang berasal dari Medan, dekat di city of Indonesia, itu dimana semuanya itu super ribet, everything was just complicated. But I find it too calm here, and also because it's well facilitated as well. Jadinya terlalu nyaman. But then, I have a question. As you guys, the youth in Qatar sekarang, do you guys find it like very comfort here? And apakah kalian itu punya pikiran untuk goes back to Indonesia, or do you guys just want to stay here for the rest of your life?
So for me personally, karena I was born here, I do think I don't want to go back to Indonesia. I want to live here and also maybe inshallah work here as well. Because I do think here, di sini itu sangat safety. The safety is very guaranteed. Terus like for me, mungkin karena because of the weather as Sophia said, di sini tuh sangat panas kalau lagi musim panas. Jadi like it could reach around like more than 50 degrees. Jadi orang-orang itu mending di rumah. Jadi like mending they spend time di rumah. Terus habis itu kalau mau hang out itu baru after maghrib. Jadi after sunset we go out. Tapi kalau lagi misalnya lagi winter gitu, biasanya kalau kita, for me personally, kalau mau hang out with friends and stuff, we usually go to the beach. Yeah, we campfire, there's the barbecues. Sini we are permissible here, so it's like a fun activity here. And also, as Sophia said, habis pulang sekolah langsung pulang. Tapi yeah, that is true. But also pas lagi kuliah gini, I do think we hang out more than times when we were in high school and stuff. Because usually, for me personally, I would go out after my classes go over, or else I would go out during my between breaks.
Oh
Yeah, like to nearby stores and stuff. Atau nggak makan siang bareng teman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so you would like to stay here. I have a lot of friends yang juga they love it here. Like mereka misalnya kalau di luar negeri and then they want to come back and like raise their kids here because it is very like comfortable. It's very safe, it's very comfortable. But then in that sense, yeah, again, it's like not that exciting. Misalnya kan aku baru balik dari Jepang on a school trip and it's like every time I go out, it's like another culture shock. Like here, then you get in your Land Cruiser and then you drive wherever you want. And then you come home and it's like, okay, there's AC everywhere. Tapi kalau di luar negeri misalnya jalan atau kan naik bus or something like motor, like it's a lot less comfortable and like here everything is like catered for you misalnya. Okay, you can just like go to the grocery store, nggak usah masuk di klakson doang, and like the mudian comes out and then he's like, oh, what do you want? And then you just get your groceries, okay? Tapi kalau misalnya di luar negeri, like it's a lot more self-serving, I think. you're gonna have to walk everywhere, and like people I know who go to university outside, they say like, oh yeah, I'm not used to like having to do all this by myself. And kalau di sini like it's very comfortable, and I think I prefer more of an independent lifestyle. Misalnya kalau di Indo like I will apply to Indonesian universities as well because
Yang mana tuh?
Yang mana tuh?
Because I like the culture in Indo maybe a bit more because it is again like even though it is less comfortable, it'll be asik isn't it? Like living in Jakarta, it's like you're kind of used to like again that like Gotham City lifestyle. That's, I kind of miss the danger, you know, like you never know if you're gonna make it home alive. But it's like, why not, you know, like have a bit of fun. I think I like that more. So I think maybe I'd come back in the future to like maybe have a family here because it is more safe. I think raising your kids here is a very good idea. It's very safe. Like I would not worry about having my kid out like late at night. Tapi kalau misalnya sebagai like a young person, maybe like I'd rather choose like you know some more excitement somewhere, you know. Yeah, but obviously I'm very 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 grateful for her. Like it is such a safe and like comfortable country, and I'd love to come back and like obviously there's no taxes on income. That's another perk. But yeah, I think living your whole life here, obviously like Anaja she enjoys it, but I think it's not for everyone.
Ya boleh. Jadi aku di Indonesia tinggal di Jakarta Selatan, yang mana terbiasa sekali untuk melihat kemacetan, kemudian merasakan polusi. Ketika nyampe di sini, itu sangat luas sekali tempatnya. Kayak misalkan fandom, udah ke fandom belum? Itu luas banget. Sebenarnya seluas kayak Central Park sama Grand Indonesia, inilah mirip-mirip. Tapi karena orangnya itu sedikit, jadi nggak pernah ada orang kerumunan gitu. Itu yang bikin enak, tapi sometimes kayak merasa sepi juga sih karena kebiasa sama lingkungan di Jakarta yang super rame itu. Terus juga yang bikin nyaman di sini adalah terpisah. Jadi kalau di Universitas IDST juga ya sama it's nice. Kalau di QU itu gedungnya pisah cewek sama cowok. Jadi itu yang bikin aman, kita merasa aman. Kemudian lagi yang bikin culture shock pas sampai di sini itu privasinya sangat dijaga. Jadi nggak boleh tuh tiba-tiba foto-foto. Itu pasti nanti samperin kamu ngapain foto-foto nggak boleh. Kan kalau di Jakarta kalau mau gini-gini santai aja ya. Jadi begitu nyampe di sini, oh oke, nggak boleh sebebas pas di Jakarta gitu. Terus abis itu, ya I would love to stay here for work sih. Tapi kalau untuk pemandangan alam Indonesia juara. Iya. Dan satu lagi, makanan. Itu yang bikin kangen sama Indonesia.
Padang nggak bisa dikalahin ya.
Oh iya, Padang. Tuh, Indonesia sih Padang.
Padang yang belum bisa dikalahin.
Iya. Soalnya kan spice Indonesia itu kan terkenal sama kencengnya ya. Jadi beda aja gitu kalau misalkan merasakan makanan di sini. Yang menurut mereka misalnya orang Turki, Ukraine, sama yang negara-negara Eropa. Itu mereka udah bilang, ini pedas, padahal ini nggak ada rasanya. Karena biasa makan pecel lele, serendang, nasi padang,
Sambal terasi.
sambal terasi itu sih yang bikin pengen pulang makanan sama pemandangan alamnya. Karena kalau di sini nggak ada jauh sih sama Jakarta, kan pemandangan SCBD sama Sudirman kan, iya buildings juga kan sama city light gitu-gitu sih. Jadi ya untuk work bagus sih untuk di sini aku mau kerja di sini insya Allah. Atau mungkin study lagi, tapi kalau untuk di Indonesia mungkin untuk silaturahmi sama keluarga atau menikmati pemandangan alam kita.
I think kalau di my high school as well is also separate, like the boys and the girls, and that definitely contributes a lot to like your being comfortable here. Like, misalnya kalau di metro juga ada satu carriage that's just for families, and if you're at a restaurant as well, like there's an area that's just for families and like other for just like single men. And that definitely makes you feel a lot more safe. Like, yeah, it makes you feel a lot more comfortable. And okay, because a lot of the women here are hijabis as well. So having that safety and like knowing that you can be free, like in like a ladies only carriage or like in a ladies only room, I think that's another thing that's why there's a lot of privacy here as well. That's something I noticed that you cannot just like take a photo with people and like before you have any sort of social media, you have to sign is that a consent form or something you do, and that's something I appreciate a lot because people here take consent very seriously, which again I appreciate because sometimes like you're not looking your best, you don't want to show, and like in Indo, kayak ya it's a bit more free lah ya, misalnya kalau misalnya pengen nge-live ya udah nyalain aja gitu, ya live aja. Di sini tuh nggak bisa kayak gitu. There's a lot more kayak things you need to do before that, a lot more paperwork and stuff, which I do appreciate. Like the government here is very protective of its citizens, and yeah, I appreciate that so much. Like you honestly take it for granted, and like when you go out of the country, it's like, ooh, the rest of the world lives like this. Like I forgot about that. But yeah, it feels like a nice protected bubble here, which I do enjoy a lot. Yeah. Kalau kalian di sini culture shock yang paling gue itu apa?
Lo perlu pertama karena lagi dingin banget. Jadi kan di Jogja temperatur sekarang panas banget sampai 36 derajat. Itu tuh 36 derajat mungkin di sini nggak ada apa-apanya ya, gimana kan apa-apa aja. But for us, very hot. Literally kalau misalnya kita di test drive, kita tesnya di ruangan terbuka in a stadium. So kita tuh selalu pakai baju, topi sama manset supaya kayak walaupun itu juga ada di sini nggak
Oh, dari itu
apalagi kalau lombanya misalnya di Mandalika, it's very hot. Biasanya kita datang putih pulang tuh ini ada contohnya. Contoh yang aku dapat sama kuliah juga. Aku kan datang sendiri di sini. Tapi jauh sendiri di sini. Tuh, soalnya matahari di sini itu cukup bikin culture shock ya, karena dingin banget. Kalau ya kan panasnya panas banget, kalau dingin banget. Nah, kalau selain itu belum ada. Mungkin karena ya ada kagama dan di Vegas feels like home ya. Banyak yang makasih lo Mas Sofan, we love you Mas. Kagama. Nah, kalau misalnya sisanya itu lebih ke mungkin bagi sebagian orang culture shock kalau kok enggak kayak kamu tuh kalau dulu kan emang terbiasa just to walk around by yourself, naik metro and some stuff. Waktu itu udah biasa, cuman for some of my friends di Semar tuh kayak aduh males dengan naik motor, especially in Jogja, orang kan di mobil, they move with motor, so yeah, it is not very Jogjanis for us gitu sih.
Kalau aku makanan di sini tuh semuanya rasanya menurut aku mirip semua. Itu kayak dari baunya, dari rasanya, kayak rasanya makannya kemarin tapi beda, itu beda, juga beda tapi rasanya kok sama ya kan. Jadi makanan di sini tuh beda dan bedanya tuh apa ya? I think it has its own taste and emang it has its own spices dan sini kambing dulu gitu. Kemarin tuh masih pas Ramadan tuh makan kambing dulu.
Oh iya. Kaget. Buffet.
Oh iya, kita tuh di lomba tuh begitu kan sekarang makannya pas-pasan. Oh, sampai untuk pemakaman malu tuh nggak kayak gitu. Dan pemakaman malu kan dari Indo juga makanannya. Dan sekarang makanannya kayak Indonesia gitu ya. Jadi kayak pakai nasi basmati gitu ya. Dan itu jadi culture sendiri juga dari makanannya dan dari apa namanya baunya dan segala macam. Jujur aku sebenarnya nggak suka itu. Tapi ya karena enak aja, tapi lebih prefer di Indo.
Karena dari bahas makanan, kalau tuh batas tuh sama the food potion, gede banget. Kita tim Indo tuh makan ya sepiring, oke. Lihat tim yang asisnya makan tuh piringnya, bukan piringnya, tabelnya tuh full gitu. Kayak, wah ini makan kekuat, kayak lagi. Iya, kita lagi ngambil nasi gitu kayak satu gitu, mereka kaget dikit kalau soalnya. Iya, kita bahkan kemarin beli apa? Shawarma box gitu kan. Itu kita 1 for 2 itu udah kenyang banget. Nah, sementara orang sini kan kurang deh kayaknya.
Udah makan di mana aja restoran?
Di trek. Restoran tuh belum, karena kita kebanyakan
jajan aja sih.
Atau
belum sempet keliling gitu kuliner dulu. Waduh.
kuliner kita.
Tapi udah squad ya?
Iya.
Tapi sudah.
Coba itu nggak crab coba.
Guys.
We miss out so much.
Kalau hari ini ya?
Oh, besok.
Bisa
Ntar
masih.
malam.
Masih sempet kan? Belum ke mall, belum belum.
Belum. We were too focused on the competition.
Kemarin baru jalan siang ya, baru
Iya,
dapat jalan siang.
baru siang, baru udah eksekutif dan kayak Mario Boro. You guys know Mario Boro? Esa Mario Boro ya. Iya, agak mirip sama Mario Boro.
Boleh?
Audience Q&A. Do you guys have any questions for the Team Semar UGM?
Yeah, about anything.
Or anything about life in UGM maybe? Mahasiswa-mahasiswi? No?
Oh yeah.
Agak malu-malu. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
So I have a question with life in OKM. So I was an ITB alumni, and I have a question about the difference between how can you say the difference between life in OKM and ITB? And there's one more thing for say for instance the hardest part when you do a competition is funding. So how do you manage to get the funding for it? And what tips can you give for us if we want to go to a competition?
Well, starting from the difference between ITB and UGM, okay. I think most ITB students are much braver than us because, well, from experience, when I went to a competition, I don't only join Semar competition, actually, I've been in some other test competitions as well. They're much, lebih berani melawan. They debate us a lot more than we do. Jadi, when they show their arguments, gak selalu benar sebenarnya. They're not even that right, but they know how to express it much better than we do. Again, because I said UGM students are mostly shy, so I think that's one of the biggest difference. And the second one is the lifestyle and the cost of living, of course. And the cost of living in Indonesia is, well, if you say cheap, not really, because if you want a good lifestyle, you can also have it in Jogja. But di Jogja masih ada tipikal makan itu yang kayak nasi, sayur, tahu tempe itu cost oke 6.000 itu tuh masih ada. So when akhir bulan apalagi kita anak kosnya itu akhir bulan tuh kadang makan begitu tuh masih ada gitu. And in ITB from my friends itu tuh semuanya lebih mahal. So they cost for 20,000 rupiah I think only for one food gitu. And kalau dari segi funding to find a fund for a competition is to make the potential partners know and feel that the competition is important gitu dulu, and how it can benefit them. Karena most of the companies, they just want exposure. They just want their logos to be shown dimanapun itu di kompetisi apapun itu, even on events of course. Jadi to know their vision and what they want is the most important thing before you go and promote your team to the companies. Itu sih kalau dari segi aku.
So yeah, to compare the lifestyle between ITB and UGM, this is what I observed personally. I think in ITB and in UGM, I think UGM is just a lot more calm. It's calmer. The lifestyle is it's slower, I guess. And we value togetherness a lot in UGM. And we hang out a lot with our friends up until late at night and stuff like that. And I don't know whether in ITB they also do that. But what I can see is that the lifestyle is definitely different. You know, sometimes I feel like the UGM students are much more per se traditional, and ITB is not, and they're more modern and extroverted. But also another thing that I can see is that ITB has conducted a lot more research. Compared to UGM. I mean, UGM has a lot of research as well, right? They publish a lot of papers. But ITB is also, it's very focused on academics, while UGM has their own advantage in the team projects, such as Semar and many other teams. So yeah, UGM engineering, especially, they basically have a lot of projects, a lot of research that is making a product. While ITB has a lot of research in academics writing and in making papers. That is what I observed course that is mungkin beda ya, mungkin banyak. Ya, oh ya, iya di tengah-tengah tuh ada ITS.
No, so ITB.
ITB is more on the academic side. ITS is more on the applicable side. Now we're in the middle. We both do that. That's why most of our teams is effective in winning, but also effective in making researchers.
So that is what we feel. And also for the funding for the competition, it's important to plan ahead of times, you know. So you need to prepare a lot, right? You need to prepare a lot, and this is what Han said, that you need to find the right partners. You need to choose the right partners, and how we can sell our team, our products for competition, and yeah, with that, hopefully, and enough partners, we will be able to join the competition with comfortable economic state. Yeah.
Not only economic condition, I think.
It's also because we're a technical team, we also have a lot of technical partners. So we need all to sorry. so we need to find well a trusted branch or a trusted company that can actually help you to make what you want. That's what I can say. Is there any? Okay. Buat yang ada di live atau di streaming kalau akalnya dulu.
So my question is, so you guys have different design alternatives, right? When you're designing the car itself, how would you solve a conflict between the team? Let's say you have a design conflict, you have a design alternative, he has a design alternative. How would you solve that issue within your team?
So that's coming from a technical issue. So you see, the justification of the design comes from a few parameters. The first one is usually for a car, of course. The first one is the track, then the lift, then the forces. So what we do is we compare the design by doing an analysis on both parameters. So when most of the time, one design is strong at the track, but yet very low because it needs a lot of forces to be moved, and on the other side they have lighter body and everything. So we need to make the justification, and then we make what is it called, a prediction on which one will perform better on a track. And also because most of the time penggunaannya berbeda. It's based on each venue, it's based on track yang mana. It's called the penyesuaian track, the track justifications. So when we try to design something, we try to make it very detailed, yet juga harus bisa cukup general to bertahan di kondisi lain. That's what we do when it comes to technical conflicts. Itu sih.
Yeah, itu benar sih. And I'll just give a very simple example ya. A lot of our conflicts kan coming from the technical side. Yang misal nih, when we are trying to run our vehicle, misal kita mau ganti sprocket, right? Sprocket itu yang kayak gear untuk di rantai kan. Kita mau ganti sprocket, mau ukuran berapa? Misal itu aja deh, ukuran berapa? Mau yang misalnya giginya ada 120 atau 121 gitu kan. Nah, ya kita harus analisis as detail as possible. Misal dengan 120 berarti kan kecil nih, kan kecil. Speednya naik nih biasanya nih kan, speednya naik nih. Gitu. Nah kalau speednya naik, lossnya kan turun gitu kan. Ini teknikal ya sorry ya. Lossnya turun gitu. Nah itu pasti buat gitarnya. Bisa aja dua-duanya itu both is okay sebenarnya gitu. Both itu boleh-boleh aja for the track. Tapi mana dari energy consumption itu mana yang lebih pas gitu. Jadi kayak we tend to be as as detail possible gitu. Misal atau ditambah lagi misalnya sprocketnya beda material gitu kan. Misalnya kita ada banyak getaran, mungkin material ini lebih pas dengan material yang ini. Atau mungkin kita butuh durability yang lebih banyak karena tracknya itu berbatu atau gimana agak kasar gitu kan. So we need to choose this material over this material. And kita nulis semuanya, kita bahas and kita justify-nya gitu like, dengan hasil. So we play a lot with numbers.
Yeah. Because engineering.
Ya engineering.
Kenapa kita engineering banget ya, sorry. Itu sih. Apakah ada follow-up questions atau ada pertanyaan? Ini nggak harus ke tim Semar dong ya,
Iya, tambah-tambahnya ada
You have stated that like UGM students are very like shy and traditional. If me, an international student, is moving to like UGM to study, how would you suggest I would like approach or try to get along with them?
Ini kita bakalan sedikit mempromosi UGM. We have an international undergraduate programs. Dan isinya memang most of the time itu kayak Kak Idira yang ada di sini juga salah satu anggota IUG ya. Isinya itu mostly memang orang-orang yang dari luar negeri dan pengen punya adaptation yang lebih mudah lah, nggak yang langsung hardcore Indonesia, nggak langsung hardcore Yogyakarta gitu. Nah, the answer I think is to join from that programs, and not only UGM gitu ya, banyak juga di ITB dan di beberapa universitas lain yang udah punya international undergraduate programs itu. Nah, other than that, sebenarnya pasti when you move back to Indonesia misalnya, it will be hard to adapt. Nah, my suggestion is that to move with a friend or to find a friend yang juga punya background yang sama. Don't go there by yourself and try to struggle by yourself. Surviving itu pasti hal yang paling susah. That's why as a human, we're designed to live in a community. Jadi kita bisa harus bantu satu sama lain. Gitu. Itu sih. Gimana Pak?
Nah, sebenarnya kalau misal kamu datang dari, berarti kamu gede di sini, gedenya di sini, terus mau kuliah di sana, gitu kan? Nah, saran itu sebenarnya kalau misalnya emang mau kuliah di sana dan emang kamu serius buat kuliah di sana dengan kamu mau, itu sikat aja. Kayak dengan kamu mencoba dan put yourself in a new situation, in a new condition, dengan sendirinya kamu akan mulai beradaptasi dan dengan sendirinya kamu juga mulai akan blending juga gitu with people. Dan tapi itu jangan malu, sampai sana jangan malu buat approach teman-teman yang lain, jangan malu buat nanya-nanya, simpel aja kamu makan di mana di sini gitu kan, lu kalau misalnya belanja sabun belanja bulanan di mana gitu, just simpel gitu kan. Ya hal-hal yang kayak gitu tuh akan membuat kamu lebih involved di community, entah kamu juga bisa join events, join community lainnya, aktiviti lainnya, dan dengan sendirinya dengan kayak tanpa nggak sadar, ya kamu udah be part of game family kan?
Iya, family.
Gitu. Iya, cobain aja gitu. Just sikat aja dulu gitu kan. Coba, berani nyoba gitu. Gitu sih.
Do you have any follow-up questions? Okay.
Aku pengen nanya, kalau di tim Semar itu kebanyakan teman-teman dari jurusan mana? Dan lulusan Semar itu biasanya kerjanya di mana? Dan seberapa besar aktivitas Semar teman-teman itu mempengaruhi untuk mendapat cita-cita di tempat kerja yang teman-teman pengen?
Aku jawab.
Okay.
Well, currently most of our students coming from engineering and science actually. Tapi engineering juga banyak. Mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, industrial, biomedical engineering, chemical engineering, and then we have ada electrical engineering versi sainsnya, namanya elektronika, ELES. So, although sekarang kita juga try to expand our reach to physical, FEB, dan segala macam, we're on our road there to have better non-technical management juga. Tapi to have Semar in your CV is actually very big. Just a story. Jadi aku tuh punya driver tahun 2018 namanya Mas Tito. He was the driver in the Drivers' World Championship when Semar followed it to London 2018. He got a job in Toyota just for that. And also Shell itu punya banyak internship programs, and most likely itu biasanya dikasihnya ke kita yang udah pernah Shell atau marathon. So last year they had a internship in Ferrari in Maranello. Well, who don't want to go to Maranello and work in Ferrari, right? So itu tuh hal-hal yang mungkin jadi perks of Syarikat Marathon itself and perks of Semar. But then when it comes to our alumni, most of them actually works, well, if not automotive, most of them goes to work in oil and gas, like Sunabridge, Alberta, Pertamina, pastinya. And then some of them also makes their own company. Yeah.
What kind of
Technology company. Technology. Mungkin apa ya, contohnya pesanan kan. Ya, EWF angkatan 21 kemarin itu sekarang udah punya perusahaan namanya Enova. Itu apa namanya? Company management untuk fluoro, untuk manufacturing gitu-gitu tuh. Itu udah punya perusahaan juga. Jadi ya kayaknya ya because of the pressure that we get in Semar and because of pelajaran-pelajaran lainnya, it makes us tougher and it helps us to deal with the real world. Karena pasti nggak mungkin ya hidup mahasiswa lebih sulit kayaknya daripada yang di dunia kerja. Pasti kan banyak banget yang we have to met gitu kan. Jadi ya secara personal it helps us to make a better mentality.
Can I ask? So what are your guys' plans? Oh, sorry. Jadi untuk kalian, like, what are your plans for the future? Because obviously you guys are about to. I know this is a very, very hard question, but what are you planning to use your like some knowledge or experience for in like your own careers as engineers?
Plannya tahun depan lulus. Semoga tahun depan lulus.
Amin.
Yang memuaskan. And then after Semar and after graduating, aku berencananya tuh sebenarnya untuk kerja dulu di Indo. Tapi masih nggak tahu sih di mana dulu. Tapi emang big dream-nya atau big plan-nya aku tuh emang kerja dalam gas company gitu. Jadi ini Shell gitu kan, maunya Shell juga tertarik gitu. Ya kita jadi inisial. Terus kayak Shell, atau maybe Slumber, atau mungkin dan namanya kata nanti banyak. Maksudnya ya aku tuh suka banget sama oil gas. Mungkin karena duit juga. Dan jadi pokoknya gitu kerja dulu, and then aku pengen untuk S2 juga. S2 masih nggak tahu sih. Kepikirannya, ya kepikirannya sebenarnya awalnya tuh European countries. Awalnya ya aku tuh kepikiran ZTE yang Swiss, Swiss sama Del. Ya sama Del, sorry, sama Del. Nah itu aku kepikiran dulu itu. Tapi ini kita bermimpi aja ya ke depan ya. Kita masih nggak tahu ya. Itu, and then untuk project-project abis Semar juga, aku juga sebenarnya masih pengen getting involved in like engineering project gitu. Dan sebenarnya skripsi aku juga pengennya ke arah fluid mechanics juga gitu. Jadi kayak compressible flow. Wow. Banget nih, teknikal banget nih, gitu.
Aku masih di verge of what's next to you sebenarnya. Tapi kalau sesuai planning, harusnya right after Qatar aku langsung punya project power originality lagi, pakai hydrogen. So I stick with hydrogen power and to make and develop. For me, I want to develop teknologi yang membuat hidrogen jadi green hydrogen. Because most of the hydrogen work right now kan masih gray ya, belum benar-benar sesuai sama bahasanya sustainable future. What I want to do is to make that blue hydrogen and then use it to make a electricity generator, khususnya untuk skripsiku sendiri gitu. Dan sebenarnya backgroundku itu kan keluarga gue itu dari engineering juga ya, service sama procurement. Jadi aku tuh punya basic di sana untuk dikembangkan di oil and gas. Walaupun pada akhirnya aku jadi bingung sekarang, pasti mau kombinasi energi atau oil and gas nih, antara konvensional sama modern kan. Nah, cuma ya, I will see where the time takes me, and yang bisa direncanakan itu ya sampai situ dulu. Dan, of course S2 dong, asal enggak S2. Tujuannya itu MIT. Tapi, aduh, di spill lagi. Gue nanti kalau nggak masuk MIT, tujuan itu MIT atau kayak udah.
Ya, sebelumnya congratulations untuk tim Semar yang telah berhasil mencapai pencapaian yang sangat luar biasa ya. Apalagi adik-adik masih muda dan sudah go internasional. Nah, yang mungkin saya ingin terima dari adik-adik sharing apa sih sedikit sharing apa sih kiat atau tips dalam menumbuhkan semangat belajar. Karena saya sendiri kan punya anak remaja ya, 15 tahun. Dan di sini sangat berbeda culture-nya, di mana anak-anak itu jarang, ya, sangat sulit, bukan sulit sih sebenarnya, kurang berinteraksi dengan mereka sering tuh gadget gitu kan, atau scrolling social media. Dan juga kedua, mereka memiliki begitu banyak fasilitas sehingga mereka kurang mampu memiliki, bukan kurang mampu ya, kurang memiliki minat atau daya juang, atau justru in the good ways semangat kompetisi itu kurang gitu, karena ya sudahlah, ibu bapak saya sudah ini kok gitu ya, sudah menyediakan banyak gitu kan, buat apa lagi saya bekerja keras gitu. Dan bahkan sekolah-sekolah di sini pun kalau saya lihat ketika kita meminta report anak gitu ya, mereka bilang oh your kids good gitu kan, everything is good gitu kan. Terus what should be improve gitu kan, saya bilang apa yang mesti di improve dari anak-anak kita gitu, oh enggak nanti gitu kan, everything is good gitu. It means itu sangat berbeda dengan Indonesia ya. Indonesia itu kan kurikulumnya padat gitu ya, dan kita itu selalu struggle gitu kan, berjuang untuk gimana kita bisa naik kelas gitu kan, atau mencapai nilai yang baik. Sedangkan di sini kan pasti naik kelas gitu ya, jarang nggak ada kayaknya yang nggak naik kelas gitu, kecuali yang benar-benar itu banget. Nah, semangat seperti itu tuh yang mungkin adik-adik bisa sharingkan gitu kan. Ini long proses nih gitu kan. Mencapai seperti ini seperti apa sih tipsnya gitu yang bisa kita berikan kepada anak-anak kita nanti.
Saya karena jadi kayak sebenarnya kalau misalnya berdasarkan pengalamanku sih ya, aku tuh selalu ditekankan buat ketahui dulu tujuannya. Maksudnya kayak aku tuh belajar engineering itu awalnya buat apa sih? Aku jual semua tuh buat apa? Tujuannya tuh apa? Nah, karena sebenarnya tumbuh dari kemauan diri sendiri sih. Jadi kayak agak susah juga nih kalau misalnya saya anaknya kurang kurang pengen explore atau gimana, itu susah. Karena jadinya itu juga bingung gitu loh. Dan kalau menurut aku, even though with all of the facility and all of the gadget and all of the AI ya, and ChatGPT dan semuanya, itu jangan dijadikan sebagai musuh juga, karena itu menurut aku salah juga, tapi dijadikan sebagai fasilitas. Tapi memang aku akuin memang kan agak bit tricky untuk kayak mendorong mereka juga buat tahu passionnya apa, buat tahu mereka apakah passion yang mereka itu benar apa enggak, itu juga tricky tuh. Maksudnya mereka, oh aku pengen jadi ini, pengen jadi itu, tapi kayak kita mungkin sebagai orang yang udah pernah dulu lebih dulu kecil, jadi anak kecil itu kita kayak ngelihatnya sebenarnya tidak visible gimana, atau mungkin tanda kutip salah gitu kan. Ya, cuma itu tadi jadi kayak nge-encourage mereka buat tahu nih sebenarnya mereka tuh tahu gitu tujuan dari belajar dari apa namanya let's say kuliah or maybe later high school dan segala macam. Kita dengan ngambil engineering atau maybe any other major, itu sebenarnya tujuannya tuh mau kemana gitu. So I think it is important to plan ahead kehidupan kita tuh mau gimana sih 1 tahun lagi, 2 tahun lagi, atau mungkin dengan apa namanya range yang lebih dekat ya, let's say 3 bulan, 4 bulan, nggak masalah juga dalam 6 bulan, dalam kayak gitu. Jadi kayak kita udah punya plan, kita udah tahu tujuannya apa. Dan aku personally pas masuk Semar, masuk mesin dulu deh, masuk teknik mesin di UGM, itu aku nggak tahu tuh sama sekali. Aku cuma pengen engineering dan aku pengen awalnya nuclear engineering, dan di UGM itu cuma satu satunya. Di Indonesia itu cuma satu satunya nuclear engineering. Terus oh ada ya. Nah, oh iya. Nah, awalnya aku mau nuklir, teknik nuklir. Terus, nah tapi itu tuh aku taruh di pilihan kedua. Pilihan pertamanya teknik mesin, karena aku kira aku nggak akan dapat nilai setinggi itu buat teknik mesin. Pertaruhan untuk pilihan kedua ya, karena teknik mesin ya lah gitu kan. Dan emang mesin tuh cukup general bukan engineeringnya. Nah jadi masuk sangat tidak tahu tujuan saya apa, terus dengan ospek ya, dan mungkin lingkungan yang isinya cowok semua gitu kan, isinya cowok semua, itu kan kayak oh beda banget gitu. Dari culture shocknya terasa banget, dan awalnya emang pengen keluar, terus ikut Semar karena iseng gitu kan ya, iseng juga. Nah terus pas waktu itu kan ikut Semar, Karting tuh udah berangkat buat lomba 2 gitu. Dan pas mereka berangkat buat lomba, itu yang memotivate aku gitu loh, kayak ternyata ini akan menjadi my passion for the next 2 years. Jadi kayak aku udah nge-decide, oke, aku akan fokus di Semar. Aku nggak ikut kegiatan apa lagi. Jadi aku nggak ikut event, aku nggak ikut apa-apa. Jadi aku fokus solely on Semar untuk membangun tim ini sampai sekarang. Dan ya jadi sekarang gitu. Tapi memang tricky juga buat nggak lose motivation di tengah-tengah. Gitu. Karena jujur aku juga pas udah mau akhir-akhir jabatan ini, udah males banget. Aku udah kayak capek, udah pergi Qatar, udah pergi aja lah, udah gitu kan. Karena emang lama-lama juga malas, karena bosen. Jadi it is tricky, tapi dengan kita, semoga ya dengan kita tahu tujuan kita apa dan know what we're fighting for, itu bisa nge-boost dan motivate mungkin mahasiswa anak sekolah juga ya yang SMA sini itu untuk lebih punya daya juangnya lah, punya semangat juangnya buat apa namanya menggapai what they actually want. Dan kita mungkin sebagai supervisor, sebagai senior itu kita harus bisa marahin gitu. Kalau misalnya mereka bilangnya, oh aku mau kuliah di sini, kita harus bisa kasih arahan yang kayak, oh kamu harus tahu loh kalau misalnya kuliah di sini tuh ada perks-nya, ada ini, disadvantage-nya ada ini, kan semuanya ada plus minusnya gitu kan. Jadi kayak mungkin juga harus tahu kayak gimana, dan kayak kita membantu buat nge-lead untuk decision yang mereka gitu. Itu menurut aku yang personal gitu.
Dari aku sendiri ya, sebenarnya mirip sama David, karena David juga basicnya mirip sama aku tuh bukan orang yang dari Indonesia juga sebenarnya, tapi my parents play huge role sebenarnya, karena dari kecil tuh didikan buatku tuh cukup keras, sebagai anak laki-laki tuh aku dulu selalu dituntut untuk ini semuanya. Then comes the time to middle school kayaknya, itu tuh aku mulai ngerasa kayak explore tuh aku jadi ikut marching band. Terus iya aneh ya dari marching band ke sini, dari marching band terus aku main somehow ternyata when I do what I do seriously I'm very good at it. So kita good. Nah cuman pada akhirnya sampai level nasional dan sempat mau berangkat internasional. Tapi pas masuk ke SMA, wah berubah lagi nih. I want to English degree waktu SMA. Akhirnya jauh lagi dari teknik mesin sebenarnya. Nah, terus sampai level nasional juga 2 kali, terus masuk kuliah. Itu tuh aku sempat di masa kayak, ya udahlah kuliah aja gitu kan. Balik lagi nggak tahu tujuan gue apa, karena my reason to join mechanical engineering ya because my father juga adalah mechanical engineer tadinya. Dan challenge lah yang tadi, challenge, aku coba terima dan ternyata terima tuh. Nah, what makes it different adalah waktu 2023 itu kan angkatanku masih junior banget, kita belum ikut lomba. Cuma waktu itu aku di trainer itu dapat kesempatan untuk ikut duluan lombanya, karena kita waktu itu kekurangan orang dan need someone that can handle the bar. Ya udah, kita ikut. Dari hari pertama sampai hari terakhir, fokusku cuma beneran di lomba. And it makes me realize kayak, oh, ini emang takdirku sama kuliah itu menjadi di Semar. Itu juga sama kayak David, aku bedanya sama David adalah dia beneran stop semuanya. Kalau aku itu stop semuanya setelah jadi general manager. Nah, selama sebelum itu tuh aku masih ada beberapa kayak Society Petroleum Engineers gitu tuh masih ada. Meskipun aku tuh fokus tetap di Semar. Ya siapa sih yang mau fokus di Semar kalau setiap hari harus ketemu pagi Semar ketemu David gitu di bengkel. Atau halo Fit, gimana hari ini gitu kan. Nah, dan pas udah jadi general manager baru aku kayak merasa kalau beban yang ada dan tujuan yang setinggi itu sangat sulit diraih kalau akunya sendiri gak punya motivasi ke sana. Nah, jadi yang menjadikan kita saat ini itu ada, ini memang motivasi sih. Dan gimana kita nge-set goals itu setinggi apa goalsnya dan support dari sekitarnya gimana sebenarnya. Karena kan when it comes to motivation it's very tricky karena the environments itu sangat berpengaruh ya. Untungnya bagi kita di Semar, senior-senior kita tuh beneran masih cukup baik untuk mau hands on ke kita dan ya, harus gimananya. Jadi puji Tuhannya pada akhirnya kita bisa berangkat ke Qatar semuanya satu tim. Itu sih yang bikin kita merasa senang, apalagi di sini disambut oleh teman-teman. Yang penting banyak dari mobil. Ya.
Terima kasih banyak kepada Team UGM and all the viewers and all the live audience for tuning in today. It's been a really good and efficient discussion. So thank you so much for coming today. Yeah, I hope that you guys have a good rest of your stay in Qatar and you've enjoyed it so far. And inshallah, di masa depan, you guys can, attain your dreams and then all the fun we talked about come true. I mean, and yeah.
Yeah, once again, congratulations for Semar team UGM. We have wait before the next achievement.
Here comes an end to the end of the talk show. Thank you everyone for watching Innovation on Wheels talk show, whether in person or online. We hope to see you again. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much.
First picture. Before and after.
Before and after. Yes. Ini dulu boleh?
Satu, dua.
Bagusnya di tengah. Orang miring boleh.
Satu, dua.
Aku sini. 1, 2, 3. Alright.
Ah,
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Saya bebas. 1, 2, 3.
You guys want to say bye to the Zoom?
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.
Foto bareng-bareng semua dulu ya. Biar kelihatan banget.
Mereka udah lebih